If you've seen a few videos on my channel, you probably think at this point that the Netherlands is some utopia, just a perfect place with no problems at all. Well, I got news for you. It is. No, I'm just joking. In all seriousness, I've had a really great time since I moved to this country. I feel like I settled in very nicely, but that doesn't mean I haven't recognized some things that just perhaps aren't for everybody. And with a channel like mine, I know I get people that are considering moving to the Netherlands. You know, I've had people reach out to me via email for tips, or people in the comments. And I just feel like it's very important to paint a very clear picture on both the good, but also the things in the country that may make you reconsider making such a move. And so with that being said, the topic of today's video is 10 things that may make you reconsider moving to the Netherlands. Hope you enjoy. Okay, point number one that I want to talk about on why the Netherlands might not be for you is if you're not someone that's comfortable with putting yourself out there, or someone that's very social. Now, what do I mean by that? Typically, Dutch people already have an established friend group, since from when they were kids or when they were like teenagers, and that's something that's very hard to break into, especially when you're older. And if you're not someone that's very comfortable with just going out and meeting up with different people, or really making an effort to build relationships, then you could easily find yourself left behind in terms of building a friend group out here. Now, that's not to say that Dutch people aren't friendly or anything, but as I said, they typically already have like a strong base of friends that they've been connected with, that they invest their time with. And obviously, if you live in like more international cities like Amsterdam or Rotterdam or The Hague, you're gonna have more of a chance of meeting other like expats that are more willing to go out and build friendships. But yeah, if you're like in a more Dutch town, with just strictly Dutch people, then it's gonna be a little bit more of an effort. And I think that's something you should consider if you're making a move here. Work time for Santa Claus. Kijkers. Okay, the next point I want to make on why the Netherlands might not be for you is if you're someone that's not comfortable or a little bit sensitive with hearing the truth, or just sensitive with words, I should say. Here in the Netherlands, there's like this cliche of the Dutch being direct, which in my opinion I feel is a little bit overblown. But I would say Dutch people are definitely not hesitant to just speak their minds and say what they feel. And for some people, for example, coming from the US, they may be used to a little bit more sugarcoating. That might be a little bit harsh or a little bit too aggressive for them. So, I think that's something you should keep in mind if you're not really, able to take that, and you feel like that might, really hurt your feelings, or it might be a little too much for you. Because I have heard stories of people encountering that here. Shout out to this bird. I think that's definitely something you should consider and think about when making a move here. Now, the next thing you should consider if you move to the Netherlands, if you're someone that loves mountains or just hills and incline. Now, I'm going up a little incline right now, but you're not going to find much of that here in the Netherlands. This is a very, very flat country. And if you're someone that enjoys, let's say, mountain biking or hiking or stuff like that, perhaps this is not the best place for you. Okay, so the next reason you may want to reconsider living in the Netherlands is if you're someone that doesn't enjoy long periods of rain or perhaps kind of gloomy weather. Now, since I moved here, I should be honest, it's been quite sunny since I moved here. But in general, I know the Netherlands is known for having more rain, more gloomy weather. And that's not really for everybody, especially, for me, being from California, I was used to just having sun all throughout the year. But that's not really the case here all the time. So that's definitely something you want to think about if you're going to move here to the Netherlands. Now, for the next point, if you're someone that doesn't enjoy planning, if you're just like more spontaneous, just a little more free-spirited, if you find yourself around a lot of Dutch people, you find yourself making a lot of Dutch friends, you're going to quickly learn that that's not always the flavor, that's not always the vibe here in this country. It's definitely more of a planning, plan things in advance, very scheduled, very structured. So yeah, it might have to be an adjustment for you. Maybe it's no problem, but just want to put it out there for you, just so you're aware. Now, for the next point, if you're someone that doesn't know how to or don't plan on learning how to swim, I also reconsidered moving to this country. There's always reports, always news articles about foreigners that come to the Netherlands and end up drowning because this country is surrounded by water. And if you don't know how to swim, you're gonna find yourself in a lot of situations where you may end up in the water and you're gonna be in trouble. It's not gonna go good. I've had a video that I uploaded before where I mentioned how I learned how to swim since moving to this country, and I'm just super happy about that because I feel a lot more safe, a lot more comfortable when I'm near water. Like in the situation right now, if I just happen to slip and fall in here, I'd be okay. I couldn't confidently say that about 2 years ago or a year ago. And so, yeah, definitely something to keep in mind when making your decision to move to the Netherlands. Okay, the next point I want to mention on why the Netherlands might not be for you is if you're someone that doesn't enjoy paying higher taxes. You know, in one of my recent videos, I mentioned all these things that should not be taken for granted here in the Netherlands, including good roads or good water or, you know, good government assistance. But a lot of people rightfully pointed out that that's due to the higher taxes that the people pay in this country. You know, it's not just something that just comes out of the blue. And I respect that. And I think, you know, people here, at least from what I've gathered based off the comments and, you know, people I've talked to in person, people here are fine with paying those higher taxes because of the benefits they get back from it. But I recognize that's not for everybody. Some people rather just have that money in their pocket, and I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, just pointing out the reality. Nu, ik ga de volgende in Nederlands zeggen. En dat is omdat de volgende reden waarom Nederlands iets voor jou niet is als je wil niet Nederlands leren. Ik zie zoveel mensen die verhuizen hier, die spreken goed Engels, ze spreken Engels. En ja, zij zien dat je hier in Nederland kunt wel Engels praten en alles komt goed, maar ik denk, je hebt echt een betere ervaring in Nederland als je kunt de taal spreken, als je kunt de taal leren. Je kunt de Nederlandse mensen ontmoeten, je kunt dingen in het Nederlands doen, etc. En ik denk, als je bent niet op de mentality, weet ik niet hoe zeg je die in Nederlands, maar als je hebt niet de mentality dat je wilt Nederlands leren en je denkt, oké, ik ga gewoon Engels praten. Ik denk dat het niet een goede begin van je tijd hier in Nederland. Ik denk, je gaat niet de beste tijd hier hebben. And yeah, ik denk misschien is iets niet voor jou. Okay, the next reason on why moving to the Netherlands might not be for you, and for me personally, this is the hardest thing to deal with. This is the hardest part about being here. And that's if you're not comfortable with being away from family for a long amount of time. You know, it's definitely difficult when you see yourself missing family events, not being able to just physically be there with your family on a regular basis or whenever you want to go see them. Family's always been something super important to me, so I definitely struggle with that sometimes. You know, it's one of the trade-offs that I have of living a great life here in this country. If you're someone that just can't handle that at all, I think you should definitely keep that in mind when making a big decision like moving to another country. Now, another reason why the Netherlands might not be for you is if you're someone that prefers a more like vibrant kind of culture. Vibrant in the sense of a place like Colombia or Brazil, like more of that warm, like friendly in the sense of people just out and about, let's say having block parties and strangers just walking up to you, starting conversation, things like that. If that's kind of the atmosphere that you prefer, then that's perhaps not what you're going to find here in the Netherlands. Friendliness and the socialness here in this country looks different than what you would experience in those countries, and I recognize for some people, you know, they prefer, you know, more of that that's just really in your face, like just loud, everyone could just mingle with each other type vibe, but that's not what you're going to really find here in this country. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video that I'll give you 10 reasons on why you may need to reconsider living in the Netherlands, but I want to give you a bonus one. And this one is if you're someone that loves driving everywhere. Now, stay with me. This point is not applicable to the entire country. But if you're someone relocating to the Netherlands, chances are you're going to move to one of the bigger international cities, you know, one of the bigger cities like Amsterdam or Rotterdam or The Hague or even Utrecht. And in those cities, you'll quickly see that one of the most popular modes of transportation is just public transportation, not using a car, but just using trains, trams, bikes, etc. And in my opinion, those modes of transportation work very efficiently here in the big cities. Now, if you're like in the smaller towns or like the smaller cities, then you definitely want to have a car. But if you're not, most people just get by without having a car at all. And if you're someone that really enjoys being in the car and doing all your things with the car, then maybe that's not for you. You know, here you go shopping without a car. You go to the doctors without a car. You meet up with your friends without a car. Once again, in the bigger cities. And if you're someone that just enjoys sitting in the car, you know, playing your music loud and singing along while you're driving or riding on the freeways and you know, just, yeah, the convenience of just driving directly to your location, then, hey, yeah, maybe this is something to think about when making your move. Just wanted to put that out there. All right, everybody, that's it for today's video. Another super fun one to film. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys got something out of this, especially if you're thinking about making a move here to the Netherlands. I gotta go because today is Saturday and there's a Halloween party going on, so that's where I'm headed to right now. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, stay tuned for what's coming forward. See ya.